The greatest two words in sports, Game 7. That is, unless your team's playing in it. The stage is set for the showdown between VGK and the Dallas Stars. The Golden Knights forcing a Game 7 with a win on Friday. So many angles for us to choose from in this matchup. Coming up next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. This special edition, Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. A lot of Game 7 streaks on the line tonight in game number 7 in the do or die, lose or go home series finale must-win game for VGK between VGK and Dallas. Peter DeBoer, 7-0 in Game 7s, the coach of the Stars. VGK's veteran defensemen, Alex Pietrangelo and Alec Martinez, are both 5-0 in Game 7. Chances could be few and far between in this game. Will this be a game like we saw on Friday night? VGK's 2-0 win. You know what? I felt that neither team wanted to make the first mistake. I thought that both teams were very tentative at times. What were your thoughts heading into game number 7?
If we had the greatest 2 minutes in sports in the Derby yesterday, now we get the greatest 60 minutes or more in hockey right now. So it's a ton of fun. We got a nice warm up last night watching the Leafs and the Bruins game. Very interesting game. Speaking of a game where teams didn't want to make mistakes, you make a good point. The mistakes that were made early on in Saturday's what day is they Sunday? Friday's game 6 were by the Golden Knights. You had a couple real bad turnovers by McNabb and Theodore. Outside of that, you didn't see many mistakes at all throughout that game. I'm just trying to think about like the Noah Hannafin goal. There wasn't a mistake made really by the Stars on that play. Hannafin picks up a loose puck with some speed and momentum and gets in, and Kolasar with a nice screen, and that's a difference maker right there. Stone finds a way to get fun empty netters in T-Mobile Arena and gets this English on him where it doesn't look like they're going in, then it hits a rut in the ice, and so there you go right there. But that's my thoughts. It's Game 7. It's exciting. Anything can happen. And I guess before we even get too deep in this, just shout out to all the Stars fans who have been following the podcast and hopefully enjoying our content. I'm not going to say work or journalism, just our content. I hope they're having fun with us. And it's been a lot of fun with all the Stars fans. And we got one more go around about, 9-10 hours from now.
Yeah, and each team wanted to defend the neutral zone, get back defensively. That's what we saw in game number 6, and we'll probably see that, especially at the start tonight. Attrition and health of each team could be a factor tonight. Rupe Hintz hit from behind by William Carrier in the game on Friday. He left and returned. Do we see the returns tonight? We talked about this on Friday's show. Mason Marchment has been skating with the team. Radek Faksa, will each of those two players return? Marchment, plus 22, 53 points, and he's missed 4 games in this series. And so it will be, I think, a benefit for the Stars if he returns, as with Faksa as well. He was available on Friday, and they did not insert him into the lineup, a game time decision, but those two could be a difference in the Game 7 finale with some fresh legs.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. On the other side, does DeBoer want to change things up that much? I don't think that's necessarily DeBoer's DNA to, it's not like, sure, the Stars didn't get any goals, but it's not like this is a broken situation where the Stars are looking for answers or things like that. I think they hit 2 or 3 posts in the game, and then obviously Mark Stone on the Golden Knights power play could have possibly prevented a Stars goal when it got through Aiden Hill. I think it was going to stop, honestly, but I'm glad we didn't find out.
No, it was not going to stop.
It had English on it, Tony. It had English on it.
Yeah, I was in that end zone.
You didn't see the camera. They didn't show where Aiden Hill built one of those Marc-Andre Fleury snow piles that it hit. You didn't see that?
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, no, I missed that. Yeah.
We don't know. It might have gone in. It might not have gone in. I'm glad we didn't find out. Golden Knights hit some posts too. I mean, I think Kolasar had a post in the game. Kolasar's actually had a really good series, even though he was a healthy scratch in one of the games. So,
And Marcia, so yeah, that
yeah,
I
Marchessault
thought it
as
went
well.
in. Did you think that went in? Because everyone was standing up. I jumped up. I
I
thought
know
it
the
went in.
player. Wait, you jumped up? You cheered?
Yeah, I did. No, I wasn't cheering. You just natural reaction.
I got you. Okay. Really fast here, just some notes on Pete DeBoer. We obviously know he's 7-0 in Game Sevens. Looking at the most all-time Game 7 wins, Daryl Sutter is 8-3 in Game Sevens, and then DeBoer 7-0. Scotty Bowman 6-3. Pat Burns 6-3. So I think it's important to acknowledge. I saw some Stars fans actually basically making it like it's not that big of a deal, on the fact that DeBoer being 7-0 doesn't matter and doesn't help the Stars' chances to win this game. I think that was a terrible perspective to take. DeBoer does something. It's like Andy Reid coming off of a bye, right? He's pretty good at what he does. And whether it's just DeBoer does something a little bit different, whether there's something else he finds in the film, whether there's just something he keeps in his suit pocket until Game 7 to unleash. I don't think it's lucky. It's not luck that DeBoer is 7-0 all time in Game 7s, but that was a great counterpoint you made earlier, Tony, with the players on the ice on the Golden Knights side who have done pretty well in this circumstance. And how about a player like Jack Eichel, who's going to be playing in his first ever Game 7? What's he going to do? So
He's going to be Mr. Do or Die himself. He
yeah,
said
I
do or
could
die.
see.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you so much for backing me up there.
I
He said
saw
do or
that
die.
that's right. Someone
I
yeah, that
influenced
was
you.
nice. That was nice. That was nice. But someone like Jack Eichel, I mean, it'd be really nice to see someone like that just say, we are not losing this game because I'm going to do something. And obviously we'll talk more about that in the second segment. Or a Mark Stone, just put the team on his back, no pun intended with the Mark Stone back injury jokes, but Mark Stone just puts the team on his back and leads by example. Kind of like the Preds game early in the season where Stone had that hat trick, I believe. That game right there was an example of what Stone can do when he takes over a game. So we'll see. We'll see if we get that version of Stone today, or if he's going to just kind of keep it simple and buy the book like he always does, which is still pretty good.
I'm curious to see how much home ice and that advantage that you fight for, and you're the number one seed, how much does the home ice advantage matter in the Game 7?
Here's what matters. And I think I might have, I don't know if I talked about this on our Friday show or me and Chris talked about this in the Chris and Chris show yesterday. That Dallas Stars goal song, that's intimidating. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much professional hockey you've
Could you
played.
sing us a few bars?
No. Once that Pantera song just starts playing in that, most of the crowd, there'll be some Golden Knight fans there, but once most of the crowd gets going, that gets in your head. And if the Golden Knights hear that song twice before getting a goal on the board, it's going to be tremendous uphill sledding. So that's where home ice, I think, does matter. Maybe on paper, maybe from a results perspective, I don't know how much it matters. I don't have the Game 7 stats in front of me as far as home and road splits, but point being, there is definitely, I think, something special about the Stars having home ice advantage. It's not a hill, no pun intended, that the Golden Knights are unable to climb by any means. If there's a team that can do this with, I don't want to say ease, that's disrespectful to the Stars, but if there's a team that can go in there and really have their way with the Stars, I think it could be the Golden Knights. We saw it last year, obviously, in Game 6 in the elimination game. That was a rout from the word go, and then the Golden Knights did the same thing in Game 3 last year, where they just blew them out of the water. So sure, the Golden Knights do have that gear in them, but if the Stars get rolling early and Pantera starts jamming, it's going to be tough.
Goaltending was absolutely insane on Friday night. I saw the natural stat trick numbers through two periods. Ottinger, 206 goals above expected. Hill was 2.22. And Aiden Hill, that one sequence was phenomenal, in which he made three consecutive saves in Friday's game, two on Tyler Seguin. I think the third was on Heiskanen. But that was just quite the sequence for him. He's back in his zone. And then again, 3 shutouts in 8 playoff games against the Dallas Stars. That's the reason why I wanted Aiden Hill to be in net on Friday night. You disagreed. You did.
I disagreed with your perspective that I thought Logan I think your words were, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you trusted Logan Thompson.
I told you, the longer the series goes, the less I will trust Logan Thompson. I stuck to those words.
Sure, but
And they
you
could sense
were,
the same thing.
but I
They
don't
could
think you
sense,
were. I don't think you were right though, because it was never proven. I'm not saying
okay,
you're wrong either. I'm simply saying that.
it's a different
Listen,
perspective. I'm not, and you know what? I'm not one of the state-run media members just asking, stock questions. Give me
no,
my
listen,
perspective.
you and Coach Cassidy agreed. Whatever Coach Cassidy's perspective is, listen, Coach Cassidy is telling all the media and everybody, listen, you look over your shoulder, you see a Stanley Cup winner from last year, it gives you a comfort. Okay, that's a good statement. Now, what we don't really know is what Sean Burke and Bruce Cassidy are saying behind closed doors about this situation. I got a couple ideas what they're saying, but I'm not going to say them. But there was a reason simply besides what we're all being told as to why Aiden Hill went in there. And, horse racing reference, while we're going to keep talking about the Derby here, we're not talking about the Derby.
Too much bumping in the stretch, and I
Way too
lost.
much
Go ahead.
bumping in the stretch, way too much. But Aiden Hill, game 5, he was okay. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. He gave the team a chance to win. He didn't lose the game. Didn't necessarily come up with that one more save like we always hear out of Coach Cassidy, but he needed that start. He needed to get back in the net. A, finish a game. He did, finished healthy. And B, played well. He didn't play bad by any means. And then now he's comfortable. Now he's, maybe in a little bit of a rhythm and a groove. And all of a sudden the Stars are asking some questions. What's it going to take to get one by Aiden Hill? Because they went pretty hard in that game. Although the Golden Knights, I believe, in the third period slowed down the Stars' high danger chances. More about that maybe in the second segment. But through 2 periods, the Stars definitely had the edge in high danger chances, especially in the second period. I feel like it was 7-1 in favor of the Stars in that game. It was a big splits. Game 6
And
or game 5.
I thought
Game
one of
6.
the best sequences defensively, at least for the VGK for the entire season, was around the 2+ minute mark, right? And they're trying to get Ottinger off the ice, the Dallas Stars. And VGK just kept pushing and kept the puck alive and kept the puck into the Dallas zone. And so he couldn't get off the ice for, I would have to say, at least 30 seconds plus there. They did a great job in playing keep away there towards the end of the game. And then the 6-on-5, and then Dallas just could not connect. They looked discombobulated at that point. And then the empty net goal by Stone.
In the Golden Knights 3 games they won this series, I can't think of an aggressive flurry at all when the Stars had the goalie pulled. Like, there wasn't really any of those, oh my God, fire drill type of moments. It was pretty clean and stuff. And this is obviously important, right? I mean, the Golden Knights on the 6-on-5 as far as attacking goes, I don't know if those problems have been fixed. We really haven't seen it a whole lot. But the Golden Knights are defending on the 6-and-5, which is obviously just as or more important. And if the game, hopefully the Golden Knights are fortunate enough to get themselves in a 5-on-6 scenario. I'll say it like that. So they're defending, and hopefully they got one more strong defensive effort in them, and possibly an empty net goal.
How can VGK win or lose Game 7? We get to that. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. We are big fans of Monopoly Go. I'm sure that you've heard of it. It's been downloaded more than 150 million times. It's a great twist on Monopoly, where you can play not just one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations. And you build up amazing cities that bring you the big money. And the best part is messing around with your friends. We really like that. Aiden Hill was chirping early in the game on Friday night at a lot of the Dallas Stars players. I don't know if you caught that, but I can charge my friends rent money. I can take their money from iconic properties, just like in the classic Monopoly. But now I can also rob their vaults of riches for myself. And the leaderboards show me who the biggest Monopoly tycoon is. But it's not just our competitive side that really likes playing Monopoly Go. You can team up with your friends and people all around the world in time tournaments to earn huge rewards. So get in the game, join your friends, download Monopoly Go today. You can do it for free on the App Store and on Google Play. Welcome back to this special edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We sure do appreciate that. On Friday, we'll have a WTF. Will it be a positive or negative one? That's what we need to figure out.
Has there ever been a positive one?
No, not really.
Okay.
Good point. And then Saturday's the Chris and Chris Jr. Show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Locked On Golden Knights, especially all of our new friends and fans from the competitive side. The competitor side. It's great. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. VGK can win tonight's Game 7 if they stay the course, if they don't make any dumb penalties, if they don't commit any stupid penalties. Zone entries can get through the neutral zone. They need space there. They need spacing, as Bruce Cassidy pointed out as well. Once they get into the offensive zone, he thought it was a tad better the other night on Friday night in the victory, but he thinks it could be much better. We'll, of course, talk about that. I think the team that is aggressive wins Game 7. I thought it was just back and forth. And again, no one wanted to make the mistake in the contest. And finally, VGK breaks through on the Hannafin goal with about 10 minutes plus to go in the game on Friday night. An early goal by either team could set the tone for this one. And we've seen what each team has done on the lead. And I thought VGK took a page out of the Dallas Stars book, Chris, by playing keep away after they went up 1-0 for the final 10 or 8 minutes before they had that empty net goal by Stone in the contest on Friday.
For sure. I mean, 100,000%. The Golden Knights, like I said, when they're on the 5-on-6, when they're defending, it's been a lot better as of late, especially in this series. For me, number one, the Golden Knights will win this game if they find creative ways to get the puck into the blue paint once they're in the offensive zone. One of my things I thought needed to happen in Game 6 was creativity between the blue lines. Golden Knights did this really, really well, really quickly. You saw a lot of situations where a winger's taking the puck up the boards. Looks like it's going to be a dump and chase. No, Marchessault or Barbashev or whoever puts on the brakes and they find a center or even a defenseman streaking down the neutral zone with speed, which generated a lot of scoring chances and some mini odd man rushes. So you're going to see that again, number one. So now the next level of creativity that I think the Golden Knights need to utilize is pucks to the blue paint with traffic. That's going to be extremely important to find a way to. It's not a spray and pray type of game. This isn't a game where the Golden Knights need to get 40 shots on goal. If 18 of them lead to high danger chances, fine. Okay, I'm good with that. But the Golden Knights can win this game with 18 to 25 shots on goal as long as they are finding creative ways to get the puck into the blue paint. We talk about these strange angle shots and things like that. You saw yesterday in the Maple Leafs Bruins game, the end boards, how lively they were at TD Garden, which led to Pasta's game-winning goal, and William Nylander just looked like he was out for a little stroll on the beach in his back check there. So that's what I think as far as the creativity side goes, and getting the puck to the blue paint will give the Golden Knights a very good chance to win this game. On the opposite side, I think the Golden Knights lose the game if the Dallas Stars massively outscore the Golden Knights in the high danger chances department. So far in the series, the Golden Knights trail by 30. The Golden Knights have generated 44 high danger chances to the Stars 74. Now, flip side, the Golden Knights actually lead in goals scored off high danger chances 5-4. So maybe the high danger chances aren't as important by that number, but I just think if this is a spot where the Stars are 2-1 on the Golden Knights as far as high danger chances for, I think one of those or more or multiple will find a way to sneak their way into the back of the nets.
I thought VGK did a better job of putting men in front of the net. I thought Hurdle was going to score a goal or two because he did have some tips and he did get clear in front of Ottinger there on Friday night. So that's something that I think we're going to watch. I say VGK will lose this game if they play too tight. They play that same type of a game, although they did do a good job, as you mentioned, on their breakouts, because we see how Dallas clogs the middle. So they found some outside lanes and then they did break out and get into the zone there. if they play too tight, I think that they lose this game. I think there's going to be a different tempo in tonight's game, and I don't know who that favors. I
You
think
think
we
it
could see
will
more
be
scoring.
faster or slower tempo? What do you
I
think?
think it'll be a faster tempo tonight. I think Dallas needs to try to speed it up. I think especially at home and try to get out on the board early. I think they lose the game if Petro winds up in the box. I think they lose the game if they're careless with their puck management. We've seen this all season long. If VGK can't control the pace, I think they lose. And then if Hill gets beaten early, and again, those sharp angles that have done them in before in front of the net and given up careless goals, if that happens, they lose. VGK, I thought, did a solid job defensively in game number 6. Do they have carryover? And then, of course, the attrition. We'll see if that is a factor in game number 7. And if it is a factor, I think it goes against VGK because of all those hits. And again, it's not in their DNA. And the fourth line actually stepped up. I thought they played very well. And Colasar, of course, with
Last
that
two
huge
games.
screen.
Last 2 games.
Yeah, they definitely started to step up after they heard our show there before game number 4.
So 2 quick things, I guess. Number 1, this is where I think the Golden Knights missed an opportunity by more boring dump and chase hockey and wearing out the Stars defensemen. We know the Stars were rotating 5 defensemen. You knew that after the first game of the series. So that's where I think the Golden Knights could have maybe made things a bit easier on themselves if they would have committed to getting the puck deep and creating turnovers by simply hard checking in the corners. Number 2, I think another very important key for the Golden Knights in this game is tempo, like you said. If this winds up being a track meet up and back type of game, that's not the Golden Knights' strong point at all. Coach Cassidy has mentioned many different times, particularly against the Montreal Canadiens, going back to like regular season game number 26 or something. I don't know what number I'm making that up. But Coach Cassidy does not want the Golden Knights into the track meet type of games where it's going blow for blow. Now, the Golden Knights did win game 1 like that, but that still is not the Golden Knights' strong points at all. So the Golden Knights are going to want to keep the pace somewhat slow, not go chance for chance, which can possibly open up their rush game as well, where if they do play a little more of a reserve type of Coach Cassidy systematic defense that doesn't allow the other team those type of stretch passes and stuff, an opportunity could present itself off of a Stars mistake for an odd man rush and maybe even an early goal.
Coming up next, we will have our locks and predictions for tonight's big number game 7. Stay with us. We'll be back with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Passion, drive, and patience. That's what brings home the winning trophy, and it's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and to level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts to choose from for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your parts guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you get your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you are burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts you need and the prices you want, it is easy to turn your car into the MVP and to bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. Hope you're having a great weekend. Game number 7 coming up tonight. The greatest 2 words in all of sports. It's rigged. Little Chris is with us. We got Little Chris. Little Chris, you're up first. Your locks and predictions for tonight. If it is rigged, VGK wins, of course. Good morning, Little Chris. Go.
Say good morning.
Hi.
I think Game 5 is still the decider. Was still the decider. I'm going 5-1 Dallas.
Wow.
I don't think Vegas is going to have that. And I think Dallas will be playing against Colorado, who's not going to win Game 1. And I've been just sitting there waiting for an opponent.
All right, 2 players for the Golden Knights, just in case they just score more than 1 goal.
Let's go Keegan Colasar and White Cloud.
Colasar and White Cloud. Wow. Doom and gloom. 5-1 Dallas Stars. White Cloud and Colasar, and he's just been ejected from the office.
Yeah,
Chris,
well, I've rubbed off on.
Go out the window. Don't go out the door.
I've not only rubbed off on Jack Eichel with the do or die, but little Chris now he used to pick the Golden Knights every game. So
listen,
now he's starting to see the light.
He said, I said the game 6 winner wins this series. He said the game 5 winner wins this series. So he's sticking to his guns, just like he stuck to his guns when the Oilers were 4 and whatever it was in November during the first Chris and Chris show. He picked the Oilers to win the cup. So he's looking pretty good right now.
Okay. Last night I saw in that game 7, the Boston-Toronto game, the graphic that said that 25% of game 7s go into overtime.
Woo!
I'm going with Dallas 4-3 in overtime. I've got Hurdle. I think Hurdle's got to break through. He was so close the other night, as was Ivan the Great Barbashev. And so I'm going to go with Hurdle and Barbashev in a 4-3 Dallas victory. And VGK fans should be delighted that I picked Dallas. They get mad no matter who I pick.
You were getting Rita was on your balls this morning for whatever it was that
what
you
did
said.
I say?
Like, you were writing whatever.
Oh,
you said.
No. I just said.
Oh, you said DeBoer 7-0 in
game.
game 7s, and she got mad at you.
She said I'm a know-it-all or something. But it's okay. Most of the time I do. I know everything.
Whatever. All right. So this is a repeat of game 6 by the panel. It looks like I'm on the island with the Golden Knights tonight. I'm going 3-1. I'm taking the Golden Knights experience. I'm taking their hopefully poison composure.
No. Don't say composure. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding?
No, that was a key to game 6, and they were extremely composed in that game. So I got a feeling you're going to see composed. Well, we'll see if Jamie Benn.
Wait. 1 second, though. I think Cassidy outcoached Pete DeBoer in game 6.
Sure, he 100%.
How come that wasn't your headline? Go ahead, man. I'm just messing.
Let's get through game 7 first, and we'll have a little nugget for tomorrow, I'm sure. All right, so 3-1 Golden Knights. Stone, Marchessault. It's chalky, but those are the two players that really need to carry this team. I mentioned in the first segment, Stone's got to put the team on his back and do what he does. And this is a game where Marchessault, if he puts up 2-3 goals, it would be, especially if Marchessault can get just get crazy for a second. Marchessault puts one in the first or second shift of the game. This could definitely be put the Golden Knights in a great spot. From a betting perspective, you got to like what you see out there. The public is all over the Dallas Stars. 67% versus 33% on the Vegas Golden Knights. From a betting perspective, you're getting plus 130, 135, depending on where you're getting your action right now. That by itself, I mean, this is a coin flip game. I don't care what anyone says. And like Tony said, it could go down to overtime, could go down to the last goal of the game being the decider. The first goal of the game could be the decider. This very well might be a 1-0, 2-1 type of affair, just like the Leafs game last night. Or we could have a game 1 explosion too. We haven't really had another explosion since game 1. So a lot of different ways this could go, but I'm going to take the 3-1 approach. Vegas Golden Knights, Stone, and Marchessault. Take the team to Series 2. That'll start probably Tuesday in Colorado for either team, not just the Golden Knights, but whichever team advances.
Was that a good surprise that I showed up for game 6 at the Fortress? Not really.
Who was sitting around you is probably they asked them.
It was a surprise to me. At 6:00 at night, my client pings me and says, "Hey, I've got an extra ticket for the hockey game tonight." So then I got on my horse. I don't know how I beat all the traffic. Parked at the Excalibur, ran like O.J. Simpson through the airport. That's a bad analogy. I ran over to T-Mobile Arena. I don't know who else sprints. Okay, that was bad, and I apologize if I offended you, Chris. The greatest 2 words in all sports, Game 7, that comes up tonight. We appreciate you all tuning in. From a man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Don't do that eyebrow thing, Mr. McCrimmon. We'll see you again tomorrow. We'll have a recap of this big game, the big one, Game 7 on tomorrow's show.
Hoping for a series preview as well.
On Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.